Okay, so I got this movement in place. It's on a slight incline flowing downwards, and I'm just putting in the, like, dry fitting the drain in to make sure it's all going to go in the right place. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, as soon as I got that dry fitted, I'll come back. Okay, so this pipe here is going to be the overflow. I've marked about an inch above the top where that's going to get cut off. And then that runs through a 90-degree section underneath the cross and into sequel T. So that's going to drain out into there. And then the other bed is going to come down here, in and down. And then that's our 2 grow beds done. And maybe a third, I don't know. But the way I'm plumbing everything together at the moment is I'm not, this is solvent weld pipe, but I'm not using the solvent to do it. I'm actually using the sort of the shrink fit plumbing tape. And that seems to make a, so you can actually see on these ones here, that makes a pretty good seal. It makes a nice watertight seal, and at the same time, if you want to change stuff, you can just take it apart. So yeah, in like the tank up here and in the old plumbing for this, I learnt that the hard way, and I solvent welded everything together, and I've had to like saw fittings off and all that sort of stuff. So this tape is one of the best inventions ever. Rubberized. It has a back and a front. The front is shiny, and the front is a sheet of thin plastic which you have to pull off a little bit like double-sided tape. I usually use my knife. There. So we've got a thin plastic piece and a rubber piece, and this is great for fitting plumbing fixings together if you want to take them apart at a later date. So as you stretch it, it kind of melts onto itself like that. Just put a couple of layers around. I've definitely got way too much here. And then that will merge into one piece of rubber and hold the pipe together. I found this is really great for the aquaponic stuff because it allows you to use the much cheaper solvent weld fittings, but you can take them apart and reuse them. You just hold it for a moment. The end merges in. There you go. So I'm going to do the other one. Okay, so I'm back. These are the fittings. Oh, there we go. That I'm going to use for sealing. So basically they're a bulkhead fitting. Drain pipe goes on the top like that. Tape around. And then to seal them, For some reason these didn't come with O-rings, so what I've done is I've wrapped tape around here, which has put like a nice rubber seal around it, and plastic is going to go through there and then screw down on top. So that gives us our overflow height, and then I'm going to stick a net pot on the top, which will keep the stones out. So there you go, I've taped it and placed it down. That gives us about 2 inches of water height. And what I'll do is I'll stick some stones around the bottom just to act as a cushion for the bag, for the liner. Put the liner in, cut around the top, push it down, screw it down, and that should give us a nice tight seal. So here's the new liner roughly fitted. On this sheet I've probably got enough to do both of these beds, and just there is where the sump's going to, where the overflow is going to be. So what I'll do is I'm going to get a bit of the waterproof polytunnel repair tape and put a patch over the top to make it a bit stronger, which means I need to clean it up. And then I'm going to very carefully cut a hole through the liner and the tape, push it down, and then screw the top down. And I'll probably use something like some vegetable oil or something as a lubricant so that it doesn't like twist and tear the liner. I mean, this stuff's 250 grams per square metre, I think. Or is it 250 microns? It's like pretty heavy duty stuff. So I'm not too worried about tearing it, but adding an extra, like doubling the thickness with some extra strong tape is probably going to help quite a lot. So I'm going to do that. Right, there's the patch. So this is quite heavy duty tape. There was a little thing in the middle, it's a rock or something underneath that that's dented it, but it's alright. And I clean this up with just like multi-surface cleaner, and when I screw it down I'm going to lubricate it with some vegetable oil. Okay, so that's passed through, so lubricate it and screw it. Okay, so I put some stones in just to hold it down while I staple it in, but there it is. So hopefully this is going to work much better than the previous ones with these bulkheads in. Okay, so that's down. I've just taken the pump, the return pump hose, and put it in the end there. So this is pumping from here, and we're just going to make sure that it gets enough water in the bottom. So this end looks like it might be a little bit deep. We can obviously moderate that with putting stones and stuff in the bottom. What I'm thinking of doing is making up some big grow bags to go at the end here, and I've got some volunteer potatoes from last year that I'm going to throw in those. Okay, so let's see, we've got about 1.5 inches of water at this end, and 2.5, maybe a little bit deep at that end. It's now overflowing, and I put a net cup down the pipe. I thought they were big enough to sit on top, but it's actually too small, so it fits right inside the pipe almost perfectly. So what I can do is pull that out every now and then and give it a clear out. That's recirculating back into there. So yeah, this is working great. Okay, there we go. So I've just moved all the grow bags over. We've got kale, 2 empties, pak choy, cabbage, and those volunteer potatoes. So yeah, this looks awesome. I'm really happy with how that's going. What I'm thinking of doing, right, is the crop bars across here, I'll put some poles across so that any climbing plants I can tie up to the pole. But yeah, this looks great. I'm well happy with that. The looks like the overflow is blocked with stuff, but that's all just leaves and crap that was left over. And my sump is overflowing where I filled that up with water, and then I put the bags in, they displaced it and filled up that. But the other thing, I don't know if you can see it, see if we can sneak up on them, is we've got some goldfish. Not seen these guys in ages, so they might be warming up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I've just filled up these two. That's a bit of wood I was using to level it, but I might throw that away and get a better bit of wood. The idea is there's a level bit of wood on top, and then the grow bed goes on there. But yeah, well happy with that. So I'm going to go and get the bubble wrap over the top of everything to keep it warm overnight. And we'll be back with day 9 tomorrow. Alright, thanks for watching guys. This is the video blog for day 8. Finally getting some decent progress going on in here. It's looking much cleaner and emptier. As soon as I can get these down, I've noticed that's falling over already, the better. There's not really anything I can do about that. So I'm going to start taking those apart, probably tomorrow. So I'm going to move this bottom one, I'll empty that out and move it tomorrow. And then we'll do the same again. I've got like 50 more bags that I've made up, so I've got plenty of stuff. I've not got anything in the propagator yet, so I'll sort that out tonight when I get in. But yeah, it's looking brilliant. I'm happy with this. Finally some progress. Awesome. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you tomorrow.